Hello, all Gres-Sims School District. My name is Mr. Chris Ming, and I am the new Superintendent of Schools here at AGS. And I wanted to take a few minutes of your time today to talk to you a little bit about how our school year is going to start for the 2020-2021 school year. This past Wednesday, on August 12th, we had to hold a special board meeting specifically to discuss our construction project and our improvements being done on our facilities. What we came to the conclusion of is that we are not going to be ready on time. Our building is not going to be ready for our staff and students. So the Board of Education voted to go 100% online, that's remote, to start our school year. The letter that you see an image of over there on the right was sent out to all of our staff and students and families to inform them about why we made the decision and what our schedule is moving forward. And that schedule was to go 100% remote learning starting on our regularly scheduled day of September 1st and running through Friday, October 2nd. We did that so that we could stay on the same time frame, but also make sure that we had the best building possible to come to when we returned into our facilities. So a couple things that I want to discuss with you about this remote learning. Last spring, we went into an online, remote, not even allowed in school type of environment again, and that's going to be very different than how we're going to be starting our school year this fall. So when we talk about those differences, there's several different ways that is going to look and feel very different for both students and teachers, as well as our parents. So the major cause of the spring, the way it looked back then, was the shutdown of our schools due to the rapid growth of the COVID-19 virus and pandemic. Right now, we're not in our buildings because of construction delays. The focus of the schools during the pandemic time last spring was around students, their mental, their social, and their emotional well-being. And while those things are still going to very much be considered this fall, we are going to focus very much on the learning process and advancing student knowledge. The academic aim of the spring was to maintain, to keep, to hold on to the academic skills and knowledge that we gained throughout the year and stay sharp as possible. This fall, the aim is to keep developing and advancing through the progression of the curriculum. The method primarily used were sending home packets where teachers would put those packets together and students would work on them. This fall, the primary methodology is an interactive online delivery of content in which students will engage daily with lessons, activities, and live sessions with their teachers. This is going to be done through rigorous attempts of the staff to work with these learning platforms and supplemented with their additional classroom resources, specializing the learning to each of the students. Whereas we know that parents had some difficulties in the spring having to explain some of the concepts of those learning materials, we are shifting the primary role of the parent this fall to that of a parent, someone who sits their kids down and makes sure they have the proper learning environment to take place. The teacher will be the primary delivery of information, and they'll take many different formats. So you might ask, how is this going to happen? How are we going to learn? What are these devices? Well, our devices are going to look a little bit different depending on what grade your students are in. The first device that we have listed there is for kindergartners and first graders. It's called the One Tab. And what we're going to have is our learning platform is going to be loaded into that One Tab. And it's not capable of logging into the internet. So one of the great things about it is the kids will have the preloaded information put there by their teacher with different learning activities. For grades 2 through 12, they'll be utilizing a Chromebook. So all students will be issued one of these devices at a device pickup date that we'll get out to you at a later time. So how do we learn online? What are the platforms and what are the programs? Well, one of the big common issues that parents had is that there was information all over the place, and we want to put that into one digestible location for everybody. So all of our teachers, all of our grades, all of our classrooms will utilize Google Classroom as the landing site. Links will be out and available for everybody to join the proper classrooms, and every one of those Google Classrooms will be linked from the teacher websites. What the platforms are that we're going to be using is going to look slightly different, but they're members of the same family. So grades K through 5 will utilize Calvert Learning. Calvert Learning is a wonderful program. It's a very enriched, full program that's going to help our students learn what they need to learn. For grades 6 through 12, Edmentum will be the primary tool of delivery. Edmentum will be supplemented heavily by our teachers, and all of the grading and interaction of both of these programs will be done online. So I want to give you a little preview of what you might come to expect. So we have a couple sample slides up here, a couple pictures that might help you visualize a little bit more of what you're going to see. This is an elementary demo class. This is a Google Classroom. So this area right here is a Google Classroom, and this is how it would lay out in terms of the imaging. From that Google Classroom, you'll be shifted to Calvert, and here's a sample picture of what Calvert will look like to the students, with each day laid out by each subject matter that they're going to teach. At the secondary level, here's another image of what Google Classroom will look like, followed by a sample of Edmentum. I hope this video was helpful in terms of having a better understanding about where we're going with our learning process to start our 2020-2021 school year. There will be more information coming out very soon. We have to get information out to you about device pickup, student schedules, and our construction completion. So please stay tuned, keep checking your email, keep checking that website, and we will be with you in person before you know it. Thank you, everybody, and have a great day.